Alrighty, welcome everyone to our third and final part of our Master Sword Adventure series. So, a really quick recap of what's been happening. We had a video that was dedicated to the events, the shenanigans that happened around the Great Plateau, and then in our second video we covered the gathering of all the equipment that we needed to get to the Master Sword itself. So we gathered quite a lot of materials, runes, a horse, and so forth. So what I'm going to do, so you can see we've left off exactly where, we've picked up exactly where we left off last time. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Kaya 1, the stable at Kaya 1, and then I'm going to ride my horse into KOROK Forest, which is the first step for this video. So we have to make it to the Lost Woods, and then we're going to perform the glitch that will allow us to get the Master Sword with 3 hearts. And I'll try and explain how all of that works. Okay, so you can see we're at the stable here. I'm gonna take my horse out again from this stable, and I've got max bonds, so that's good. For some reason I pressed the wrong button. I was trying to skip the dialogue, but ended up taking more. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this horse and I have to ride all the way up to where I want to go. So bear with me. Okay, so we've made it to the Lost Woods, or the entrance of the Lost Woods. This is where we're going to need to be precise. So we have to ride our horse to the KOROK Forest. So we have to stay on horseback all the time, or at least if you do want to get off, you'll have to call the horse to you. And essentially I'm not kind of bothered to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try and explain. I'm going to try and explain how to navigate the KOROK Forest. So here's where we get to the checkpoint where there are two fire posts, and we're going to walk towards the left. Okay, so we're going to walk towards the left until we get to this tree. Okay, so until we get to this tree, I apologize, there's not much for it to go off. It's this tree, and then we're going to turn right. Okay, so it's a bit of a right angle. So if I was to stop here, just to get off and show you. So we came across the side of the two fire posts, sorry. We came across the side, and then we got to this tree here, roughly towards the edge. Over here, there's actually, if you navigate somewhere through here, there's actually a tree with the KOROK mask in it, which we don't need to bother about. And we're going to, whoops, that's a bit too fast. I'm going to try, if you've done this right, I'm going to try to navigate through to, you can see the space between trees is generally pretty wide apart from this section here. So we've got to make it past this section with trees that are close together. And over here, trees that are kind of close together as well. When you get to this ugly tree, you can turn over here where there's a single post. You can see over there, there's a single post, a dead tree right on the mound. And when you get to this point, you're pretty much there. So all you got to do is turn left and follow this road into the tunnel. Okay, follow this road into the tunnel. And we are in KOROK Forest now, so nice happy forest, and this is the, I suppose this is the beginning sequence of the glitch that we need to conduct. So what I'm going to do here there are a few steps we'll have to follow. So now that we're in KOROK Forest, we're going to stop and stand still. And all you got to do, I said stand still. So the sword is just up ahead, but we're not going to be able to pull it out because the tree there is going to tell us that we need 13 hearts. Oh, sorry, it's not specifically going to tell us that, but we need 13 hearts, and it's going to challenge us, and we're not going to be able to pull it out. So what we're going to do is we're going to save that. This is a manual save. We're going to manual save this file. Okay, so manually save this file, and then we're going to conduct the glitch. So what we need to do here, we're going to stay on horseback. We've manually saved the file. We need to come back to it later on, and that we are not allowed, so we shouldn't do anything. We're not allowed to save for the remainder of this glitch. Okay, so we're going to teleport to Miam Agana, and we're going to do what's called a apparatus glitch, or an apparatus storage glitch. Yeah. And there are a few steps that we're going to need to take. It doesn't take long, and if you've ever done it a couple of times before, then you'll know that it really doesn't take long. So the apparatus storage glitch has a lot of mechanics behind it to why it does what it does. I'm not going to explain all of it. Essentially, it messes with the game so that the apparatus storage glitch tricks it into thinking that you're in a place that you're not actually there. Okay, and alrighty, so now that we're in the Miam Agana shrine, there is an apparatus here, and this is essentially what's gonna happen with our this is the main part of our apparatus glitch. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, so we need to have the camera equipped, and we're gonna need to do something in quick succession. So we have the camera equipped. We're gonna go into target lock here, and then we're gonna press 2 buttons all at once. Okay, so that's activating the camera and crouching. Okay, so that's doing both. Now what we're going to do is, if you do it correctly, so you're going to press both buttons while you're holding the shield button, and you should look like this. Okay, it's pretty lenient. You honestly have a bit of time. You don't have to press both buttons in the exact same millisecond. So you can see that this is what it should look like. We're in crouching mode, and we are looking at the apparatus. Okay, now normally when you look at the apparatus, when you approach the apparatus, you can see that it says examine, and this would make it so that you're controlling the apparatus. Now you'll notice that when you're in apparatus mode, you can't, so I'm pressing the plus and minus button, the menu buttons, and I actually can't open any menus. Okay, so this glitch does something that allows us to take advantage of that. So I'm going to do that again. I'm going to press both buttons. Now I'm in crouched camera mode, and you can still see that it shows up that if I press A, I can examine, or at least go into the apparatus mode again. But if you've used Breath of the Wild's camera app at all, you'll notice that if I press A at this point, I'm going to take a picture, which is exactly what happens there. Okay, and so what it does is it's actually done both things. I've taken a picture and I've stored the apparatus. I've activated the apparatus there. There's quite a bit of physics that I can't really explain. Well, I'm not going to explain currently. Essentially, I'll just try and explain the steps that we'll have to do now in rapid succession. So what we have to do now, in a moment, we're going to delete this photo, and then we are going to press the plus button to open up our menu, where we're going to load our manual save. So if we delete this, it's going to take a second after you delete this, because there's a animation here. I suppose there's, yeah, so it's not going to be the exact second. You can't spam press the plus button. So go to delete, and then we're opening the menu. So if you do it quick enough, you'll notice that the camera was actually shifting, so that we were just about to go into the apparatus mode there, but instead we were able to pull up the menu here, which we can't normally do in apparatus mode. Okay, so now we're going to go to load, and we're going to load our save from KOROK Forest here, okay? So just before I load, I'm going to try and explain what happens now. This glitch doesn't take long to do. We need to be decisive in our movement. So as we load this, we're going to notice that we're not on horseback anymore. And so you can see I'm far away from the horse, and I'm going to immediately open my map. Okay, so I'm going to open my map, and now that I've loaded it, so the apparatus storage glitch tricks the game into thinking that we're still in the shrine when we are not actually in the shrine, okay? And now that we've loaded our save, there's a bit of mechanics here that I suppose what's happening here is that it's still thinking that we are in the shrine. It's taken our coordinates, believing that we're still in the shrine, but we're not. Okay, so now what we have to do, this is the last part of the glitch. Now what we have to do is we have to teleport to a place which causes the Lost Woods to essentially unload, if that makes any sense using layman's terms. It's going to unload because Breath of the Wild is a pretty big game. It doesn't load the whole game all at once, and going to say the Great Plateau is far enough. Okay, so if we go to the Great Plateau is going to load, and the Lost Woods is going to unload. It's going to be rendered into a state where the environment hasn't fully loaded, and then we can go pick up the Master Sword as a normal object. Okay, so the coding's not there. So if we teleport somewhere far away, like the Great Plateau Tower, it could not be anywhere. You're going to notice something strange that will happen. Okay, so when you load to the Great Plateau, we're not actually going to go there. Okay, the game's not actually going to go there, and you'll see something probably that looks like this. So you can see this very strange unloaded KOROK Forest. We didn't actually move from the KOROK Forest. And so all we got to do is, as soon as you've got control, try not to take your time. As soon as you've got control, you're going to jump off the horse and you're going to run up. And all you have to do is grab the sword. There we go. We've got the Master Sword with 3 hearts. So essentially, the programming hasn't loaded around the Master Sword, and we just picked it up like an object. And at this stage, so we've got a glitch, and now it says pull. Okay, so if you were to activate that, you'll launch into a number of cutscenes, and you'll probably finish some unknown quest or something. So you can see this is a cutscene here. We've actually got the Master Sword already, but it hasn't registered that. The Great Deku Tree is still going to ask us to work that out. See, it's not actually there, and in our inventory you can see we actually got the Master Sword. It's over here, so that's our Master Sword. It's not going to show up there, and there we go. That's part 1 of this video completed. We've got the Master Sword with 3 hearts using this glitch, and we're going to go on to the trial of the sword in a moment. What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to upgrade my weapon stash. So you can see it was useful to upgrade the weapon stash earlier because we needed a spare weapon stash. I have done this where I tried to pull out the Master Sword and it said that my inventory was full. So I didn't get the Master Sword. That really isn't actually it's not actually a bother, because you can just unequip something and then press to get the Master Sword. Anyway, like immediately after, it's not going to disappear. But although it just takes away a little bit from it, a bit anticlimactic. Okay, so now what we're doing is we're going to head to our final shrine. So this is shrine number 12, and I'm just going to take advantage here and pick up another shield. So this is the Forest Dweller's shield, and I quite like this shield. Nice easy one there. Okay, so I'm pretty sure this one's called Fateful Stars or something like that. Something cool like that. So we've upgraded our inventory slot 4 times. This is our 12th shrine, which will give us another 2 stamina vessels when we make it in there. So Fateful Stars. I'm actually gonna not use our bomb impact launchers. So yeah, I misworded that. I am going to use our bomb impact launchers to try and get there. Now I have to angle this right because I remember the last time doing it, I kept hitting this bar right here, which didn't allow me to go through or something. Let's see how we do. There we go, made it through. Got our paraglider out. Don't really need anything else from this part here. And that's our last shrine. Blah blah blah, yada yada yada. Okay, so now when we actually exit out of the shrine, we get the I don't know why, maybe we have to somewhat remove ourselves from this area, then come back to it, or go into a new area before we actually get this voice telling us to do the Trial of the Sword. Okay. So that's why we saved the shrine until last. That way we actually had an excuse to, I guess, technically enter a new area. And so here we go. We've got the Trial of the Sword. So over here. Now in my previous video I mentioned why I suggested having 12 shrines, and which led to 3 stamina vessels. Now the reason being, normally when you enter bullet time in archery mode, I suppose, when you enter bullet time, it takes about half a stamina wheel to charge, to pull back your bow and fire a shot. So every half stamina wheel allows you, probably if you were to go with a rule of thumb, allows you to, I keep doing that. Wait, go away pigs. I can't right now. So yeah, every half stamina wheel allows you to shoot 1 arrow and probably safely get to, let's say, I don't know, get to a place where you won't be in danger. If you have any less than half a stamina wheel for each bow shot, like for example, if you were over water, then it's likely that you'll probably just drown because you would run out of stamina there. So you can see 12 shrines actually give us a little bit more. Okay, so a tiny little bit more there. So now as I'm approaching this, the game's going to catch up on some cutscenes. Okay, so now I've approached this, and this is the invitation to do the Trial of the Sword. Okay, so there we go. So the Great Deku Tree has recognized that we've got the sword now. I can't seem to skip this section. And I am going to try and turn this into a tutorial about how to beat the Trial of the Sword. Okay, so while we're standing here, you can see that the word says pull. So unfortunately, it's still going to be stuck in this animation where we're going to be pulling the sword for some reason. Okay, and it looks to me, you might be thinking that we're actually not going to be able to do that then. Okay, so we're actually not going to be able to do Trial of the Sword. How are we going to do Trial of the Sword if the game still lets us, still makes us try and pull out the sword as if we didn't have it already? So how are we going to do that? That's really weird. Unfortunately, the game, until you maybe get 13 hearts, it's always going to say pull, except for the fact, I'm just going to save again because I'm a bit paranoid. Except for the fact that if you just stand across, it's then going to say place. You can see. So I was actually stuck on this for quite a while, and the first time I did this glitch, I was like, what the heck? Can't you do the Trial of the Sword right after you pull out the Master Sword? Do you still have to actually get the 13 hearts? Why bother getting it early then? But actually you can, so you just have to go across the triangle and then it will tell you to place it instead. And that's how you do the Trial of the Sword.